What up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We've got a live CHGO Bulls postgame coming up for y'all right around the corner. Bulls fall to the Thunder in OKC. 145-117 is the final. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what they call a reality check. We'll break it down coming up next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls postgame, coming to you live from our studios tonight here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That's Big Dave. Bam! Bam! BAWL Sports. Will the GOAT Gottlieb, perfectly coiffed as always. Will_Gottlieb. And the one and only queen of the controls is Katie W. What up, Katie?
I just want everyone to know that Will Gottlieb knocked over everything while Matt was doing that.
You cannot prove that. There's no way to prove
well,
that.
I said
it was his turn to break the set, Katie. Post game tonight, as always, brought to you by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use promo code CHGO365 when you sign up.
I need to stand.
Whatever
for
the
this
moment
thing.
is never ordinary at Bet365.
Having a tough 5 minutes.
Well, Bulls
Can I
Nation,
attach it to my computer?
that was not pretty.
No.
We talked in pregame,
Uh-huh.
which we did live from the Hooters downtown Chicago. Well, shout out to their crew. Shout out to everybody who came out with us. We'll get some personal shout outs later on as we wrap up. That was super fun. But we talked in pregame about never putting too much stock in any one game.
Yeah.
While also looking at this game.
Yeah.
After beating some down on their luck teams or being bad on purpose teams in March. And then some real wins against the Lakers. This is a measuring stick game.
Sure.
Number one seed in the West, number one overall seed in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And all the drama around it, the Giddey trade for Caruso and all of that drama. Never putting too much stock in one game. We just saw what we saw, Dave.
Yeah. We saw an ass whipping from OKC. A beatdown. However you want to throw it out there. Ass whipping, beat down, smacked up, smacked down.
A shellacking.
Shellacking. Oh, wonderful one.
Is everyone okay? Everyone still have all of their limbs?
Yeah. It was yeah. That was tough. It was a beating. It was over very early. It was over very quickly. It escalated very quickly. The Bulls had a chance in the first quarter, and that was pretty much it. And that second quarter came, and they just started running, and they didn't stop. And when that kind of team gets on that tidal wave kind of roll, with those three-pointers are falling and that defense is being played, like it's a joy to watch if you're a fan of basketball like myself, but not a joy to watch when it's happening to your favorite team out there. But yeah, I told you on the pregame, both of you guys, like I definitely had stock in this game. I needed to know where this team was, where they stand. And this is the best way to kind of give you a measuring stick without, having to look at, a sheet. You can see it right there on the floor, and it will let you know where you actually stand. And they're about where I thought that they were as a team. But I also looked at it as far as the players were concerned. Like I said, I was looking at Giddey, I was looking at Kobe, and I was definitely looking at Modest. I don't know what stock I can put into the numbers that these guys had. I mean, Giddey 15, 10, and 8. I kind of felt like somebody had to, walk away, with those kind of numbers. Modest with the 14 and 7, he played 30 minutes. So you don't know when, that stuff was coming. He did play pretty solidly in that first quarter. He was definitely aggressive the whole game, and he definitely was getting some block shots. He ended up with 4 blocks, and that was he tied Daniel Gafford for the most blocks as a rookie for the Chicago Bulls. So congratulations to Modest on that one. But Kobe White was the one that was a little surprising. And Will, you were talking about it when we were talking about the game, just the length that bothered guys like Kobe White, because he only had 5 shots tonight. And that was just completely surprising seeing him have that. but he definitely struggled. 7 points, no rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal.
That streak of 20-point games came to a
that's a donezo.
crashing
That's
halt.
a done deal. But
shout out to him for those 15 straight games.
Absolutely. But OKC came in with a plan, and you saw it very well executed.
Yeah, and look, I mean, we knew this Thunder team was going to be a problem, as they are for every team.
Yeah.
I think in particular, the Bulls are able to kind of shell shock teams. Nice job, Katie.
Yeah,
dropping stuff in the background.
What is happening on this show today?
Destroying the set, accusing me of destroying the set.
We're gonna fight later.
As I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, just the OKC defense is like. You like that one?
I do, because this is normally me and Katie, not you and Katie,
yeah.
and I'm enjoying
just dishing it back out.
Yeah, it's nice.
But the Thunder defense is just so well equipped to handle what the Bulls do well, which is like run you and attack the paint. And you've got 2 elite rim protectors back there, as she puts the ISO cam on me.
You're welcome.
They've got 2 elite rim protectors back there that can take away a lot of the dribble penetration from guys like Giddey and Kobe.
Yeah.
And you've got guys pressuring up on the ball, so it just becomes that much more difficult to get those driving seams in the first place. And I think that's where I wanted to see if Kobe could continue to do that. Obviously, he's been on a tremendous stretch lately, but, you know, can he do that against the best defenses in the league? And not to say that he can't do it, but this was a challenging game for him.
Yeah.
7 points, as you mentioned, Matt, the 15 straight games of 20 points or more streak comes to an end. So, challenging game for them. Giddey played well. I think he was, doing what he needed to do, missed some of the threes. But then the other thing is, like, we talked about the Bulls' opponent 3-point shooting during this stretch where teams have shot like 33% against the Bulls in the month of March from 3. You knew that was not going to sustain. And it just happened to come crashing down on them tonight. The Thunder were 23 of 43. So basically anytime you make 23s, you're pretty much going to win.
Yeah.
They made 23 and shot 53%. So it's just tough to win that way. It's tough to win no matter how well you play. If a team makes 23 threes at that clip, it's almost impossible to win. And then on top of that, you're playing against the best defense in the league that can really take away the things that the Bulls guards do well. It's kind of the recipe for losing by 27.
Yeah. And the Bulls 3-point shooting, I mean, you mentioned wasn't great. 15 to 48, finished with 31%. Josh Giddey, 1 of 5 from the 3-point line. He's coming back down a little bit, like off of that, 53% percentage from 3 that he was on, like an incredible heater that he was on. I was just wondering when that would, kind of settle. And it feels like it's starting to settle a little bit. Like once he hit that half-court shot, it was like it zapped all this energy up out of there. And he struggled from 3-point shooting the last 2 games. But again, this team is OKC. They're incredible. They're amazing. Like Will said, they are set up perfectly for a team like the Bulls. They're like, oh, you like this style? Guess what? We love it. We love this style. This is what we do.
It's like trying to beat the Warriors in 2016 at their game.
Correct.
It's
correct.
a hard thing
you want to shoot these threes all day? Oh,
be my guest.
Guess what, sir? Guess what we got for you? So yeah, man, they ran into that buzzsaw that is the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they took them seriously. You saw OKC give them the respect of taking them seriously, and that's what I wanted to see. Like, they didn't let up on them at all. OKC wasn't playing with their food, man. They were eating. They were like, we're going to eat, and then we're going to eat some more in that third quarter. We're going to continue to chow down. Even when we put in dudes who I don't even know who they are on OKC. I just know they're tall and young. Even when we put those dudes in, we are going to continue to run and continue to hit these threes, and they're scary. I'm just glad that we only got to see them twice, and we don't have to deal with that. You only got to see them 2 times. That is scary. Western Conference, good luck.
I kind of wish that the Bulls saw them more than twice.
I'm sure you do.
I think some people in this fan base need a more than twice a season reminder of how far they are away from being a real team. Look, OKC is the best team in the league. OKC is the best team in the league by record right now. The Cavs are on their heels. If it is a matchup in the finals between those 2 teams, who has home court, we'll find out. But and I get that this streak of wins the Bulls had in March, with Giddey and Kobe leading the way, and even Modest playing well in some of the games and playing more minutes than he did the first half of his rookie year, means something and is different than being where the Bulls essentially were the past 3 years with Zach, DeMar, and Vooch as your big three.
Yeah.
Those are different things. But it's like, what irked me this month was Bulls fans, and it's not entirely their fault because they were starving. They were starving.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
And the March Madness Bulls threw some rotten chicken at their feet, and Bulls fans were like, nom 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 nom.
No seasoning?
No seasoning.
Oh,
None of that delicious seasoning that we had on our wings at Hooters tonight.
Oh, man.
And it's like, we don't need to go to the top of the lottery. We don't need a top tier draft pick. We'll add another young player somewhere in the teens, and it'll be great. Add to what you're building. This is still the gap, y'all. If you are going to be happy with a couple years of baby Bulls, maybe they go to the playoffs, maybe they give a fight in the first round, maybe they make it out of the first round. If that satisfies your thirst of success as a Bulls fan, then great. Enjoy. Some of you have been enjoying, and I'm not trying to take that away from y'all. But tonight, I drank up that reminder and reality check of who. I saw somebody in the comments, I think it was Jesus Navas, said, hey, the Bulls didn't have their second star tonight. Simple as that. Plus, our defense was awful. Second star, didn't have our second star, meaning what? Kobe White had a not good game?
Who was
referring
the
to
first
Kobe
star?
and Josh as your 2 stars? We're just playing fast and loose with the word star right now. 1 month, one good month. They're our stars. They're our stars of the future. And well, the Bulls played crap defense. Guess what? They've been playing crap defense pretty much all season. They have been a crap defense pretty much all season. In this month of March, when they've been winning some tight games, having these insane spreads on fourth quarters. Goat wrote about their fourth quarter, overall rating, their clutch minutes rating the other day, and the fact that the Bulls are shooting damn near 50% on threes in the fourth quarter this month, while their opponents are shooting sub 30. That's not elite defense. That's luck. Luck runs out when your team ain't real, when your team ain't a real contender. You can be a pretender who's happy with a play-in tournament or maybe a 6 seed if this collection of players reaches its ceiling. Do you want to be a contender or do you want to be a play-in participant every year? This team needs more talent. Yeah. Usually you find that at the top of draft classes. That's it. That's all I got. Oh. This was a needed reminder for Bulls fans. They are nowhere close, y'all. Nowhere effing close. Hope y'all had fun this month.
They did. Kevin Huerter wasn't out there. No Lonzo.
That's the star they were missing.
I was just picking, man. I was just messing with that. Oh, yeah, man. Like, they aren't there. I think we kind of knew that. But like you said, man, like, hard head make a soft ass. Like, some people just hard-headed. You know what I mean? You got to see this kind of thing happen, before, like go to tell you. Like I tell Coda this all the time. Like he can see the fire and say it's fire and I have to go touch it to know that it's hot, That's just how it is. But this is why I wanted to see this, though. This is why I asked for it. I begged for it. Show it to me. I need to know what level of reality we're on. Is it the one I think that they are? Or is it the one that we are seeing? You know what I mean? Like, which one is it? And that question was answered from the tip, that from the tippy top, that question got answered very quickly, knowing where you stand. And the talent part of what you said, I couldn't agree with more. It takes talent in this league to win, and tons of it. And the Bulls have a lot of good players, 9 and 10. They got good players on their team, but you have to get this talent in here and then build around that, because regardless if you feel like it's okay for them to go to play-in or even just be the 6th seed, they still not a 500 team. And I need to be up over that. You know what I mean? Before that excitement really comes out.
Officially not going to be a 500 team this year, as that was their 42nd loss. So
there it is.
Pot of 6790 traded a future for 3 weeks of fun basketball. At least in 21, they got 3 months of good basketball for those picks. Hey, you know what?
Let's talk more about that on the other side.
Let's do that. Let's take our first break, and we'll continue breaking this one down. Thank y'all for joining us. If you're hanging out on YouTube, hit that like button if you haven't done it already.
The point and everything.
Let's get those likes up. Shout out to you, Bulls Nation, for watching that.
Appreciate y'all.
Post game tonight brought to you by Bet365.
Yeah.
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. New customers can now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose on whatever you fancy. Maybe it's the tourney that's still going on. Maybe it's these NBA games. Maybe it's hockey. Maybe it's baseball in full swing. Pun intended. Sign up. Just use the promo code CHGO365. Just put $10 in your account. Take 5 of that. Make a bet that you like for a game that you're excited to watch, and whether or not that bet hits as you're watching it unfold, when it does reach its conclusion, you will see $150 in bonus bets dropped right into your account. Plus, if you are watching hoops all the time, they have that bonus early payout for when your team goes ahead by 20. Or if you're a baseball junkie with a Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes 5 runs ahead with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So what are you waiting for? Download that Bet365 app now. Don't forget to use that promo code CHGO365 when you sign up to get your bets in on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ray!
Hello, Ray.
CDJR. Get more power during Dodge Performance Days at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Is that Animaniacs? Were you doing Animaniacs when you said hello, Ray? Is that
Not on purpose,
okay.
But I hear it now.
Yeah, that's what went in my head.
Now.
Okay, all right. Great show. Now is your chance to score a great deal on your next vehicle. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. And right now, lease the new 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona for only $259 a month. Or get 0% financing on 72 months. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 with a friendly team of brand experts. The team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. Plus, since they prioritize affordability, you know that you won't overpay for the vehicle that you need. And of course, with that raised price promise, you can shop confidently with no add-ons and no hidden fees ever. The price you see is the price you're going to pay. It's just that simple. Go check out our partner today to shop one of Chicago area's largest inventories. Find the right new vehicle for you, then drive home a very happy indeed. Very sneaky, sir. The team at Ray CDJR is the only one that we recommend. Don't miss out on Dodge Performance Days going on all month long. Amen. For low lease and financing rates on the new 2024 Dodge Charger. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. Why? Because they've been serving the community since 1963. Shout out Kyle Williams. Where were you tonight, Kyle Williams? Come hang out, baby.
Kyle has left the chat. He said he did not enjoy this episode and he left.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I hurt your feelings.
Shout out, Kyle.
Did the Bulls reality check hurt your feelings?
Don't treat Kyle that way. He's a good dude. Shout out to him, man.
Hey, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. That's fine.
Shout out to Vince, man, who was there. Says,
hey,
thank
shout
y'all.
out to Vince.
Meant
What
a lot
up,
for
Vince?
him and his brother, even though it didn't mean a lot to the team today. Thanks for coming through, bro. It really was a great time.
It was a wonderful time. Fantasy Cast saying, there will be no Peck bashing in this chat. Any negative attention seeking should be addressed to me. I appreciate you, Fantasy Cast, but hey, guess what? I can handle it. Pretty thick skin over here.
Yeah, and Kyle, the reason
I've been the Bulls party pooper for years now, y'all.
It's true.
Just trying to help y'all. Just trying to open your eyes to reality.
And the reason I said that, Kyle, because he was saying comparing OKC to literally anyone is drastically unfair. I definitely disagree with that. I always feel that whoever the best team is, that's who you're chasing. That's who you need to be trying to strive and achieve to. Not do the same things that team does, but you need to find out where you are. You know, as a team, as a unit, who are we? The best way to answer that is going up against who you think is the best. It's why I look at those games, or when they play Boston or Cleveland or Houston. Like, I'm looking at who is the best and what do we look like when we play against the best. And so that's the comparison I made. It's not like I'm, oh, Kobe is exactly, you know what I'm saying, like SGA. It's not that kind of thing. It's, dude, where do we stand? These questions need to be answered because they aren't answered, through actual words. You can't answer it on a stat sheet. You can't answer that question that way. You have to get out there on the floor and play, and that's the only way it could be answered, and that's the only way it could be solved. And so that's why I wanted to see this game. I didn't think the Bulls would win. I thought that they would, kind of get blown out, in this game. But I just wanted to see how they got blown out. Did you get completely destroyed, or did the team kind of break away in the second half? Because, that's kind of what the team kind of does. Did you keep it close? Was it over within the first 5 minutes? Like, I'm analyzing all of that stuff when I'm watching the Bulls play the best team, especially one this hot. Right now. So that's the kind of comparison I make. And I think it's very fair to find out what your team is if you want to find out what your team is when you go against these kind of squads.
Yeah, and I think when you measure or compare yourself to some of these elite teams, I think it's interesting based on how they have been playing, right? Because I think this team is much different. This last month is a much different team than what we've seen from them the previous however many months.
Yes, sir.
But I think the argument against that, and not saying I fully believe this, but just to play devil's advocate,
your favorite,
the argument against it is you come out the other side already knowing what we can all assume in the first place, which is that this team still doesn't have enough star potential. And people can say, well, Giannis got drafted 15th or Shea got drafted 13th. Guys can be found later in the draft. Jokic in the second round, Gobert 27, whatever. Yeah, that's true. That can happen. It does happen. But if we knew those guys were going to be stars, they would have been drafted number 1, because that's where you take the guys that you think have the best chance to be stars. So again, I think the idea of not valuing picks or not valuing the pursuit of picks at a high level in the draft, when you already know you're taking a step back or you're sacrificing your long-term to try to make these strides during the middle part of the season, which we already know isn't going to amount to whatever. I think it's, again, just circling back to Matt's point about you can be a 35-win team, you can be a 38-win team, you can be a 45-win team, but you could still be in the middle.
Yeah.
And so it's how do you get above that? Yeah. And the Bulls did not set themselves up to get below that, so ultimately that they could get above that. That's fine. And the reality is the ability to get into the top 6, 8, wherever in the draft at this point is it's over. It's not happening. That's fine. So at this point in the season, I agree. I think it's better to just understand what you know. But now if you have this information, you can use that to move forward. And I think what they're going to end up having to move forward with is the understanding that they still need to find more star power. Yeah. And the hardest thing to do, this is the Pistons are a great example of this. Right now, they're a team that's probably not going to win a championship this year, or even their core. It's going to be very difficult for them to get to the top of the East. But they're way too good to be drafting at the top where you could get another star. So that's where you have to start getting creative, either drafting guys and taking big swings in the middle of the first round or combining picks to trade for a star player. They have a great core, but they don't have the piece that can put you over the top.
Sure.
And I think the Bulls are kind of in a similar boat of that right now, which is they've got some nice pieces. Kobe has been playing great. Giddey has been playing great.
Yes.
Modest is looking awesome. You've got some good depth. There's real players there. The question is just how do you find the guy that can put you over the top and get you out of whatever part of the middle you're stuck in? And I don't know the answer to that. It's probably going to have to be trade or getting really lucky in the draft. But I do think that regardless, looking at yourself against these teams and seeing where you measure up and what you're still missing, that is important. And I think that would be important whether it's, a game at the end of March against OKC or a play-in game against Miami or a first-round matchup against Cleveland. You are going to learn something. And I think the issue is that you just may disagree with the fact that they went this path in the first place.
That's fair.
Yeah, and speaking of paths, shout out to Undisputed, who I'm going back and forth with in the comments, who said Peck never answered the question. Well, how do you intentionally lose games if that's what you think is in the team's best interest? Again, I at no point have blamed the players for winning these games.
Never.
They go out and play. They play to win. They're professional athletes, obviously. Not blaming Billy Donovan for not doing a better job of tanking because he is a coach who is here to win. It is the fact that the front office put them in this position. And hey, if you find an offseason trade for Vooch last summer and you don't have him playing that lights out brand of basketball he played for the first few months of this season, the Bulls have fewer wins.
And Zach.
Zach, you find a midseason trade for, but Zach leads you to lots of wins to start this season. You don't find say you find a midseason trade for Kobe White. Lots of teams reportedly call the Bulls about Kobe White leading up to the in-season trade deadline. They choose to keep him. Kobe largely responsible. / I also know, of course, Josh Giddey for this string of wins in March. Kobe ain't here. They don't have these many wins in March. There are things the front office could have done to put them in better position to embrace bottoming out, to then try to add more young talent to climb back up. It's not on Billy. It's not on the players. It's on the front office for them being where they are.
I also think there's a difference between like, what do we think they should have done all along versus where are they now and how do they need to move forward?
Correct.
Considering where they are. And
the
those are two different
things.
things.
Weeks ago.
But it's still fair to criticize them for going down this path in the first place.
Sure.
I think.
It's not the path that we wanted them to take.
And like it's like those choose your own adventure books where when you make a choice and then make another choice and then make another choice, like here's where we ended up. If Bulls fans, and like I can appreciate this team playing well, a younger core of players playing well and winning games. It's been fun to watch. They're playing a solid, fun brand of basketball. They're running opponents off the floor, except for tonight. If this, then that. Okay, so the plan now is you pay Giddey this summer. You pay Kobe White as much or more next summer. You better hope Modest Buzelis turns into a borderline all-NBA caliber player towards the back end of his rookie deal.
Yeah.
If you want to see this team go anywhere when you're paying Josh and Kobe those figures. That's the simple math of the situation.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay. Well, Giddey's going to get his check. As far like watching, like I said, watching Giddey tonight, it's like another game. Like I wanted certain questions answered, like as far as how they played him, how they attacked him, how they did. But it's like they did it to everyone. You know what I mean? Like OKC like did it to everybody. Like we're gonna take you away, you away, you away, and you away, and then we'll go and we'll score. I do like what Giddey. What I like about it just doesn't stop with him. Like it is constant. With attacking. And I told you rebounding is his superpower. And he consistently attacks the rim, especially when he's trying to get that rebound. And that's something that didn't change and wasn't taken away tonight because that's his thing and that's what he does. But what they did do was up those turnovers. And what they did do was force the Bulls into certain situations that they just really didn't want to be in. I mean, Kobe had 4 turnovers. Giddey had 4 turnovers. Vooch even had 3 turnovers. Bulls had 19 as a team as far as turnovers are concerned. I can't remember how many. I want to say like 34 points or something like that off of those turnovers. But it's just I really like what I see when I'm watching Giddey and his effort. There are other things that need to be added to his game, which all gives us all kind of pause when we start talking about contracts and stuff like that. But just the things that I see him doing and just watching kind of how he evolved as a leader of this team, because he's turning into that for this Bulls team. Those are the things I like when I sit and I watch him play. Because Matt, nothing pisses me off more than a team that doesn't have effort. Nothing pisses me off more. And so I have yet to see him do that. I have yet to see him take a play off. I just consistently see him going and going and going. Now, it might not succeed because he's not a great defender, but he's trying. He's putting some effort out there. That's stuff I like, and that's the stuff I appreciate about him. Walking away with 15, 10, and 8 in 27 minutes is solid. Like 6 of 15 when you're 40% from the field is solid. 1 of 5 from 3 is about, what old Giddey was. But again, where's the baseline? Like I keep asking that question, and I think these kind of games kind of steer me towards the direction that I think that Giddey is kind of going in.
And I think that's the big key. Like you can have a great game or multiple great games or a month of straight great games, but if you're not doing it consistently every game or 95% of games over multiple seasons, then it's hard to say for sure what you are. And I think the consistency piece is a big deal. I think that's true for Giddey, who has consistently played a lot better.
Yeah.
I like what I'm seeing from him. And again, I'm not saying the Bulls don't have talent. I'm just saying, why stop collecting talent?
Yes.
Why would you stop collecting
Why
talent?
would you do that?
And think
Don't
you're,
need Cooper Flag.
you're
We
good
already
enough.
got him, Go.
I'll stay.
I don't know. I think it's just important for all these guys to continue growing. And I think it's been great to see how Kobe has grown and Giddey has grown and Modest has grown. But the fact of the matter is, like, you the idea of like stopping collecting talent, no matter how good you are.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, OKC, they built their team through draft picks, and they've been able to hit on guys in, you know, the late lottery or even the second round in some cases. Chet was obviously the number 2 pick, but they have a treasure trove full of draft picks.
Yeah.
And like, they don't even need to use them in the draft. Now they can go out and get whatever guy they want. So it's not just that like those picks are valuable because you can guarantee yourself a superstar. It's like, that is currency in the NBA. And if you don't have any currency, it's hard to buy anything.
Speaking of currency, we got to pay some bills around here. We'll take our second ad break. We'll come back, continue breaking down thoughts on tonight's game. Hit that like button, throw us a chat, throw us a super chat if you feel like it.
Toss it.
CHGO Bulls post game tonight brought to you by Cornbread Hemp. Let's be real, life can get a little crazy sometimes. One thing that can help me unwind, those Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies. Have you been looking for a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort? The CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body, not against it. I am not as young as I once was. True story. It hurts. But sometimes I can do simple things for maintaining my physical and mental well-being. Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies are now a part of that wellness plan. Have you tried everything under the sun for peace of mind? It sounds like it's time for you to try Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. They're made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, discomfort, just needing a little relaxation. And here's the best part, my favorite part about CBD gummies from Cornbread. Cornbread only uses the very best part of that hemp plant, the magical plant, the flower. That's right. Other competitors of theirs, other manufacturers of CBD products will use the entire plant, not just the seeds and the stems, even the stalks. Who makes CBD and hemp products with stalks?
Who's stalks?
Some of these frauds do,
Where are the stalks?
but not Cornbread. Flour only. The stalks, Jay!
Where are the stalks?
All products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. So here's what you do. Right now, they're offering CHGO listeners 30% off your first order. Just visit cornbreadhemp.com/CHGO and use promo code CHGO at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/CHGO. Promo code CHGO at checkout to get 30% off your first order. Cornbread Hemp. This is the good life.
So let me get it look at the future here. I'm gonna look up. Well, people still mad at Matt. Okay.
Hey, hi everybody.
All right.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Will might be moving to Nebraska. What else you see?
No NBA teams can hurt you in Nebraska.
Fred Hoiberg is down there. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
The mayor?
The mayor.
Oh,
The mayor is in the building, ladies and gents.
that's what the Bulls are missing.
Oh, go ahead and get
The
yourself a
mayor.
look, sir. Oh, because no matter what, that was the coolest move right there. No matter what outdoor activities you prefer, it's always important to have the best view. Right On Optics offers a full range of optics products so you can see clearly. Right On offers higher performance at lower prices, y'all. The perfect balance of performance and value. It will not, I repeat, it will not break the bank. Right On Optics has been around for over a decade. Every product receives a full quality inspection. And of course, they got the Right On promise of an unlimited lifetime warranty. It not only covers defects, but it also covers accidental damages from drops.
Uh-oh.
So get better. Get a better look at all of it, y'all. Quality products that you know you can trust. Check out the full line of Right On products today at rightonoptics.com/CHGO. That's RITON optics.com/CHGO. Right on Optics. I see you.
I see you.
I see you.
We're on the long CHGO Bulls post game on a Monday night. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us in that YouTube chat. Hit the like button if you haven't done it yet. I'm looking at this like number. It's not good enough.
Not
Katie?
fan?
No, seriously, there's 218 people watching, and that's great. Love y'all.
Thank y'all.
Phenomenal.
Shout out to you.
There's only 58 likes, and if you're gonna throw some negativity in the chat, I feel like you have to at least hit the like to balance it out.
That's fair.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me about throwing the binoculars when you said if you're going to throw something.
Well, I am gonna make you pick them up later, but that's unrelated.
But my back hurts. I'll pick them up. It's okay.
Hi. Who carried all the equipment today?
Mostly you and Steven.
Okay.
And shout out to you for it. I helped a little bit.
Shout out, Steven.
Guys, so I think it was Optimistic Bulls fan who said in the chat just a moment ago before we went to break, Modest Buzelis is Cooper Flag without the hype. And I made a joke right before I saw that comment, and shout out to our good pal Kendall Gill, who went viral for saying on the Chicago radio waves a month ago.
He doubled down today or yesterday or something.
What's that?
He doubled down like yesterday or today or something.
Kendall's doubling down all the time.
He's all over it.
Also, I'm going to blow up his spot. So I put up our event for tonight on my personal Instagram account earlier today.
Flex.
He responded to my DMs like, what? No personal invite? I was like, sorry, Kendall. I just figured you'd be busy with your own, pregame show. And hyping up Modest Buzelis to heights that even I, as a Modest believer, am uncomfortable with. But, okay, so Optimistic Bulls said, yeah, Modest is just Giddey Cooper Flag without the hype. Have y'all been watching these Duke games in the tourney? Cooper Flag is so damn good.
Ridiculous.
He is so good.
Ridiculous.
I'm not saying Modest Buzelis cannot turn into a great NBA player. I'm feeling pretty confident already that Modest Buzelis is going to be a good NBA player.
Without doubt.
Yeah. Floor for Modest.
Really good.
Good NBA player.
Yeah.
Could be great. Ceiling could be great. Doesn't mean you don't also want Cooper. But because it was brought up, if there's a silver lining to tonight's game as far as what we actually saw on the floor, Kobe had a rough night. Giddey, okay night. Was targeted at times. Modest have 4 blocks tonight.
4 of them things.
You mentioned his season total on blocks towards the opening game. 2 of those were on Chet Holmgren, and we're like, hey, Chet Holmgren has arms for days.
Correct.
And Modest was like, hey, Chet, so do I.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
Get it out my face.
Look, it's even in a night when the Bulls get waxed. Like you said, Dave, you were looking at individual players and what they could show against this very intimidating OKC team.
Yeah.
Kobe, Giddey, and Modest, those 3. Modest is, Modest 14-7, but those 4 blocks added to it. And we've been wanting rim protection for years as a Bulls fan, legitimate rim protection. We're talking about some of the bigs in this draft class, none of whom are elite rim protector guys. But we're talking about Derek Queen or Kamal Malawaj. It's like, can we get a rim protector around here? Modest is obviously, unless Billy gets cute at times, maybe some small ball 5 in his future. But even still, just seeing somebody in a Bulls uniform with that kind of shot blocking ability, with his quickness, weak side help blocks, and then also just Chet putting the ball on the floor and Modest saying lateral, I'm going step for step with you. Yeah. You go up, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Get that. God, that was so encouraging. For all of the Modest had 28. Modest had 31 the other night before that. We're getting hyped about Modest's development offensively as his minutes have grown and as his role has grown as a starter. But tonight was a really fun reminder that, Modest could be a legit two-way player.
He's been awesome. And I think the defense was part of, we talked about this pregame of the box of what he is being asked to do early on in his career. The defense is a big piece of that. But even as we were watching the game, there were a couple plays where he would get a shoulder to the chest and get bumped off his spot.
Yes.
But his length allows him to stay in those plays and still really deter shots around the rim. There were a couple that he didn't get credited for a block, but he still forced a kick out pass for what otherwise would have been not a wide open layup, but a layup.
Yeah.
And that, especially if you're building around 2 defensive guards who are, who have shortcomings on that end, you need to have good rim protection, and you need to have guys that can help on the perimeter. And I think Modest can do both of those things. He definitely has to continue to grow, but like what he's shown us these last couple of weeks has been really exciting. And yeah, I mean, he's an example of, it's possible to find talent later on in the draft. And a lot of people have been talking about, can he, like, he should have been the first overall pick and like he slid and stuff. It's like, there's a reason he didn't go number one. He had real concerns about his game. The Bulls obviously took advantage of that. They drafted the best guy at 11 when they were up. Credit to them. And he's just gotten better. And I think that is a testament to the way that he's approached this rookie season and the way that he wants to improve, the way that Billy has handled him. And yeah, it's very exciting to think about what he can become, because those players are really a premium in this league. Big, long wings who can dribble, pass, shoot, who can protect the rim. That is the like archetype of a very, very valuable player. Yeah. And I think he's already showing you the signs of like, he's going to be able to do that at a high level.
Yeah. And I mean, we were having this discussion. We were watching the game just about his defense. And the one play you talked about, a couple of those plays, like the one that really stood out was that one later in the game when Aaron Williams gets the ball. And I mean, just backs him down, all the way into the paint. And you think it's over because of the way he just put him in the paint. But when he tries to go up, Midas is like, no, still 6'10". Nope, going to deter that shot. And it's going to be hard to score on me. That, for me, is a true skill, because there are tons of dudes who get back down in the paint, and once they get back down, it's over. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's done. You know what I mean? Put the ball in the basket, get it out the hoop, run the next play down the floor. It's not like that with Modest. It feels like he's designing it that way. He's like, okay, yep, timing it. You know what I mean? Like, here it comes. All right, got you. And if that continues to grow along with what I feel is going to be the offensive growth of Modest Buzelis, I mean, you got yourself a stew going. Like this is a real deal NBA basketball player, straight up, that the Bulls have. And just the help defense has always been there. It's what he does very well, is help out on guys, because you don't realize his length until guys try to go up for those shots. And then they like, oh, shit, you're kind of tall. and then it's an issue. So I'm just really encouraged about him game after game defensively. I know what he's going to do offensively. Like, in my head, I already have an idea of what he's going to be. But the growth defensively, and I was saying this to you, Will, like, he doesn't need to be a guy, because he still, can get cooked. You know what I'm saying? On one-on-one situations. We know that. But as we were saying, Will, like, his recovery from that is what's going to allow him to be a true, really good defender. Yeah, I get cooked. Yeah, I got put in the basket. Yeah, but try to go up for that shot. Once you make that move, can you finish? And Modest is not letting those guys finish, man. Really excellent, as you said, really excellent shot deterrer as well.
Connor in the comments saying, it's incredible how much more polished Modest's game feels when comparing it to year 5 Patrick Williams. That is a...
Patrick had some nice moments tonight.
A riveting comment. And how many rebounds did he finish with?
Your bet did hit.
Congratulations
to you.
For those who watched pregame and trailed me to take that under on 3.5, he cleared it by 1.5. Two whole rebounds.
2 whole.
But he did score. Dave, you got excited when he got that last bucket in the down the stretch. Yeah. Billy said, "Hey, Pat, go out there and play mop-up duty."
Right.
He was out there late in the fourth, and he got that bucket to put him at what, 16 points?
Yep. I was like, uh-oh, here we go.
And if it weren't for Javon Carter, who Billy broke glass in case of emergency on in the second quarter of this game,
man,
Pat could have been the leading scorer.
Maybe.
But Javon Carter said, "Hey, Pat, hold my beer. I'm going to go out there and get some buckets real quick."
Yeah, TAC said, "Yeah, hold mine too." I'm going to go out here and get 15 to 14 minutes. Absolutely right. So, yeah, man, those guys, they don't get many opportunities to get out there and play, and they're taking full advantage every single time. And I'm not mad at them taking full advantage, especially when you're getting your ass whooped like that. Well, you want me to run this play? No. You're going to get this shot. I love Mark Shanowski when he went up on 3.
Shout out, Mark.
And he was like, Javon Carter takes 3. He says, why not? He takes the shot. I love you, Mark Shanowski. So
Javon
much.
has been a dutiful veteran soldier on this team.
Yeah.
Barely seen any minutes all year.
Yeah.
He gets out there in a game where the Bulls are down 20 early.
Mm-hmm.
That vet's going to go out there and get some shots up.
He's going to do it, man. He's going to do it.
Has that player option
He does.
this summer that he can pick up, and he might.
$6 million?
Might somewhere between might and likely will pick up. But, he's still trying to prove to anybody else out there watching in the league, I'm still the Javon Carter that was a big piece of that Bucks team.
Yeah.
That were, the class of the NBA.
Yeah.
So good for him getting some minutes.
Good for him.
We got to knock out a couple more quick ads. We'll come back to wrap things up on the other side with some shout outs. Any other thoughts you have, throw them in the comments. We'll get to as many as we can as we wrap up here. Hit the like button.
Give me the like.
For crying out loud.
She'll hunt you down.
Tonight's post game brought to you by Circa Sportsbook. Do y'all like customer service? Because if so, Circa has the best of it.
Word?
Real human beings. That's right. Real people beating hearts. Down with the machines. Whatever the sport, the app to bet Circa is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. So bet on all of your favorite teams in every game this season. Still plenty of time to have fun betting on hoops, betting on hockey, and baseball has arrived. Bet on all of your favorite teams in every game with spreads, props, futures, even in-game betting. Circa Sports has it for you. Fund and bet like a pro from anytime, anywhere in Illinois. Get your bets in for the final. Kudos to all those teams. All number ones, right?
All number ones, baby.
First time since 2008.
Correct.
That 4 number 1 seeds have gone to the Final Four together. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Oh, go ahead and hit that, Matt. Go ahead and take you a sip there, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead. Don't have to twist your arm. Yes. Look at the refreshing relaxation. Oh, because that's that Sam Adams American Light, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Easy drinking. Because light beer just got so much better. Introducing Sam Adams American Light. It's clean. It's crisp. It's super easy to drink. There's no gimmicks. There's no fluffs. No woozies. And for the sake of Will Gottlieb, absolutely no wazzies. Sam Adams American Light is not your average light beer. It's brewed with 100% American-sourced ingredients from local independent farmers. It is simply light beer that is made right. Because light beer shouldn't feel like a compromise, y'all. It should be smooth and cool. It should be an American classic so smooth, it could hang out with Will the Go Gottlieb all night long.
All night long.
All night. Sing it, Katie. All night. Yeah. You'll want to crack open another one.
Oh, yeah.
And then another one.
Oh, yep.
And then another one.
Oh, yeah.
And then one more after that. Hey, because it's always Sam season. Light beer just got so much better. Grab some Sam Adams American Light. Available now at select Chicago retailers. You must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Speaking of hanging out with the GOAT.
Yeah.
Call Me Beer Baron in the comments just said, GOAT should have let us pretend it was his birthday at Hooters so they would sing to him. we witnessed a couple of birthday songs at Hooters tonight.
A lot of birthday people out there. I didn't know you had to do a dance when they said that. It was like you got to do the chicken dance.
Hasn't that been like the Hooters tradition for a long time? Is like they do like the chicken dance, but like it's like a cross between the birthday song and the chicken dance.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't recall.
And I know that because they do it in the episode of The Office when Michael drags Jim to the office or to Hooters for like a business lunch.
Okay,
and Michael lies and tells them that it's Jim's birthday. We could have done that with the GOAT tonight.
It's true.
Thank you for not doing that. Thank you very much.
I mean, GOAT's always trying to keep a low profile when we're out in the streets, out in the public, because, I mean, the man gets enough attention as it is.
I'm just
It's the
antisocial.
quaff.
I'm just antisocial.
Shout out to Kimberly for the super chat. She says,
Kimberly.
thanks, guys, for being real. Margaritas were great.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Kimberly.
She also
margaritas
explained,
were great.
They were
Were they
great?
good?
Okay.
She's also explaining that she doesn't sports bet, so instead she just gives us super chats. So
I love that.
thank you, Kimberly.
And it's like every time you throw us a super chat instead of betting, you don't
That's
get
maybe
any
a bet
money
for
back, but you get all the love in the world back.
Yes.
So that's like a win in itself.
It's a different kind of investment.
Different investment.
She definitely
shout out to Kimberly, who also was one of the cool people who came out with us for the Sweet Takeover on D Rose Night.
That was so much fun.
Including there were also some D Rose Night people in attendance. Mike,
2 others.
Mark, I think.
Yes.
Shout out to them. What a fun time. What a fun time tonight.
It was. I mean, I love doing those things.
It would have been more fun if they weren't down by 30.
Yeah.
Right away.
I had a great time. Oh, look, there it is.
Look at the photo.
There's a fun crew there.
Look at Young Spathis sneaking in.
Young Spathis showed up.
That man got a standing ovation when he walked in.
By the way, my head is behind Joey Spathis.
Wait.
I was trying to, dodge and get around, and it didn't work. And I was like, you know what, Joe, this is Joey's moment. Let's do this.
Well, mine is behind Matt.
He does have a massive head.
No, you're not behind. You're behind Carm.
Yeah,
who also showed up. Shout out to Carm and Pat. A bunch of our other CHGO friends turned out tonight.
Yeah,
as well as the other goat, Young Spathis. Chris from our sales team showed up.
He was in there. He was in the house.
Brother Dave showed up.
Shout
out to Brother Dave.
In the house.
Shout out to my guy Ed.
Yeah.
Vince, who was in the chat earlier, did he pop up in the chat? Shout out
his
buddy Andre, I believe.
Yeah, shout out to them, man.
And of course, shout out to our buddy Strick.
Strick.
Who was trying to tell me that the Bulls could beat the Cavs in the best-of-7 series.
Yeah, he was on it.
Bless your heart.
He was on it, man.
You crazy, man. Also, shout out to Shy, who I was chatting with for a while. Telling me about how he and his wife and their kids had to move down to Florida for a year, but then are happily back in Chicago now.
Oh, right on.
Lived in Pensacola.
Ooh.
I said, I'm so sorry.
You're about to say that's your spot.
I was waiting for that.
All love to our Floridian members of Bull Nation.
Florida comment.
Shout out to the legend Ant-Man Mello Holly
Mitchell.
Hero.
Ant-Man's here.
Ant-Man's in
What's
the building,
up, buddy?
The legend's in the building, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Good to see him, man. Good to see you.
So,
Way to be here, sir.
As we now, so that's March. March is we
done.
have completed
Yes.
March.
That's a wrap on March.
And the Bulls, the Bulls did some things in March, you guys.
They were good in March.
They were a very fun, very fascinating team to watch over the last 31 days.
It was enjoyable basketball being watched.
Now we hit the home stretch, and the Bulls have a very kind schedule down the stretch. Starting with tomorrow night, second night of a back-to-back. Bulls taking on the Raptors back home here in Chicago.
Back-to-back.
They are, after tonight, 33-42.
Mm-hmm.
They go 6-1 over their last 7. They do have the Cavs.
Yeah.
Right there at 39-43 where they were last year. It's doable.
It's doable.
Just shy of 3 games under 500. But within the window of sometimes 2, sometimes 4.
Yes. Oh,
how perfect would it be?
There is definitely one game I'm looking forward to, and that's that game on the 9th against the Heat.
Little play-in
preview action. Because the Heat are just showing you like, oh no, bro, we do want to win. Like we're taking this pretty serious.
Somebody gave them CPR.
Yeah, it was Jimmy Butler.
They were circling the drain. Well, yeah, Jimmy showed up in Miami, and they were all like, all right, roll up their sleeves.
They're like, oh yeah, we hate you. Yeah. All right. The Heat are fueled by hate for sure.
They were blessed with the Wizards as opponent tonight.
Yes, they were.
Stomped on them.
Stomped.
So that plus the Bulls' loss in OKC, the Bulls are back in 10th. Oh no, Jerry! Oh no! What about the whole playing game? Oh no! Oh no! You better get back up to 9th, buddy. You better get back up to 9th.
That was literally Mickey Mouse in your chair.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, we did a Bulls playing game. Oh,
they've got a interesting schedule too. I mean,
should we just read through it?
Yeah, the Heat schedule. Yeah, I got you, bro. The Heat schedule next. They play the Celtics. The Celtics in Boston. At home against the Grizzlies, at home against the Bucks, at home against Philly, and then they play on the road against the Chicago Bulls. Then they go on the road again against the Pelicans and finish up at home against the Zards of Washington. That's an interesting schedule. I mean, it's not so heavy, but it's not so light.
It's a little bit harder than the Bulls, I would say.
Yes, it's definitely harder than the Chicago Bulls schedule.
The Bulls have Toronto tomorrow at home, Portland, which is going to be another big game in terms of the Tankathon order.
Massive.
If that's still important to some people. Massive. Then you've got at Charlotte, who just shut down LaMelo Ball for the year. You're at Cleveland, who may or may not be resting guys at that point.
Huh.
That will be their 4th game of the year. And then at home against Miami, at home against Washington, and away for the season finale in Philadelphia. So Bulls have a pretty easy schedule. I mean, they could theoretically win all but one of these games. Maybe against Cleveland they lose, but like
2.
Yeah, you figure they'll probably lose 2, but I mean this is
theoretically yes.
This is a very simple, not simple schedule, but a light schedule down the stretch here. They could put together some momentum heading into the play-in.
Yeah, I mean,
but they both will be jockeying because the difference between 9 and 10 is huge. It's massive in terms of hosting a game. So
yeah. Katie.
I was just mocking Goat's massive.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have anything to say.
When the Heat were in that 10-game spin, and they looked like they had completely thrown in the towel, I was sitting here saying, "Oh, like, dude, like we've watched the Bulls lose to the Heat. We've watched the Bulls lose to the Heat in the play-in tournament each of the last 2 seasons. So, like, oh well, they'll just do that again." I was sitting here saying, not necessarily. That Heat team has given up. But I think you're right, Dave. Like, seeing Jimmy come through those doors again in a Warriors jersey lit something in them, at least for a while.
Yeah.
And they are going to go down swinging.
Yeah, man.
And I think a Bulls Heat playing game right now is a toss-up.
Yeah.
Whereas a week ago, if you asked me, I would have said Heat are just ready to pack it in.
Yeah.
That's a Bulls dub. If the Bulls face Miami in the 9-10, they're going to face the loser of 7-8.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I want to see how that hatred, because, they don't like the Celtics at all. They are not fond of each other. So I want to see how far this hatred kind of carries them and, carries this team. They have Eric Spoelstra. I go back to that all the time about the Heat. They have Eric Spoelstra. Like, that dude is an incredible coach. We could be setting up for
another Celtics Heat conference finals. If they get the 8th seed and play the Cavs in the first round, they wouldn't play Boston until the conference finals. Yeah. Theoretically. Yes. Or
that would be hilarious.
But yeah, man, like I'm curious to see what kind of that level of hatred as they carry in, because they're not a fan of that team. They're clearly not a fan of the Bulls. They're not a fan of them either. So yeah, man, the Heat are playing with some fire, pun intended, and it's just going to be really interesting to watch how they do it down the stretch, because I feel like they have chosen a side now. It isn't the side of packing in. It was the side of, we're going to keep going. As you say, we're going to go down fight until the wheels fall off. We're going to keep going. And the Bulls are definitely going to meet them there, because the Bulls have shown you they are going to fight just as well. So, yeah, man, even in this game, the Bulls kept playing. They kept going. They kept fighting, man. The score did not indicate how massive, that divide was between those two teams, but
they were down 40 plus at one point.
40 plus at one point. So, but the Bulls, they kept playing, they kept going, and that won't ever change for them. And I don't want it to change for the Bulls, man. As players, that's what you want to see your young guys doing, is putting 43. In that effort.
Talking about this looming Bulls Heat matchup, not just the remaining one on the regular season, but potentially in the play-in. Our guy Connor in the comments saying, "I'd rather have the 10th seed, to be honest. Have you seen the Bulls play at home this year?" LOL.
That's real. They're better on the road. That's true.
The final game of their regular season series is at home.
Yes.
They have played the Heat twice thus far, both wins, one at home, one in Miami. So they already have that tiebreaker against the Heat, as we pointed out.
But the Heat are also
what happens in that third game.
Only a game and a half behind Orlando for the 8th seed. And the way they're playing.
They're a game and a half back now?
Yeah, it's very bunched up. So
it's bunched up, bro.
Hawks are 36-38. Orlando 36-40. Miami 34-41. Bulls 33-42. So only 3.5 games separate the Bulls from the 7th seed Hawks. And all 4 of those teams have relatively easy schedules. The Bulls have the tiebreaker over the Heat and the Magic, but they've already lost it to the Hawks. So there could still be some movement in here up and down for a lot of these teams. I would guess that it kind of shakes out the way that it stands right now, with the Bulls and the Heat being in the 9-10 game in some order, and the Hawks and the Magic in the 7-8. But that could still change. I mean, there's still time left, and even the Raptors aren't technically out of it, although they will be if the Bulls beat them tomorrow. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
That'd be interesting, man. Those Raps.
Wow. Talk about out of left field comments. David Levov in the comments. Imagine Patrick Williams explodes next season and becomes MVP, brings us a championship.
Crying all nights.
Imagine if our family's pet cat that died when I was like 5 was the season MVP next. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Imagine. Just imagine.
Well,
all you got to use is your imagination.
All that would need to happen is if he took a massive step forward.
Dude, we see Spathis for the first time in a while tonight, and just every word just chugging through Goat's brain is massive.
It was literally how I introduced it when I saw him. I was like, guys, I think we got a massive guest coming on right now. And then the explosion of young Joey Spathis.
I did say that he should produce our postgame show tonight and give Katie the second half of the night off.
Take a look at Katie right now. Like, she's done.
Katie's ready to wrap.
She's done so. Buddy.
She's giving me that countdown.
It's been a really long day, and
face on the
it has been a long day. Which is why I thought that Joey should have stepped up like a gentleman and someone who did this job well. It's like riding a bike. I bet if we sat Joey in that chair, he could handle it.
I don't think he wants to handle it.
Yeah,
no, that's why he left us.
I think he turned that part of his brain off.
Definitely not.
I think we put him in front of the microphone. He would handle it well.
I would have taken that too.
Yeah, true.
Although, no, tonight was too sweet. I had to be here for this one. Guys, the Bulls fell back to 10th.
Yeah.
They trailed by as many as 43. Woo! Yikes. All right, well, so second night of a back-to-back. The question is, before we wrap up here real quick, how do you anticipate this team to respond against the Raptors tomorrow?
I'm going to say they respond well. They don't quit. That's one thing I do like about this Bulls team and the players. Like, they do not quit. And they take these kind of things personally. Like, Will would talk about it often, how Kobe would still be sitting at his locker mad at about a loss, just complaining about it. Like, this team doesn't like, losing. And I think they feel like they might have something to prove also. So they might see this game as an anomaly, as a woozy, as a wazi, and just throw it out of their brain and then get back to focus playing against the Raptors. So I think they're going to come out strong. I really do. I think, and we'll see if Kevin Huerter is able to go. Interested also on another update on Lonzo, seeing how he is, and then checking in on Trey Jones as well. But yeah, to answer your question, I do expect the Bulls to come out ready to play and wanting to dominate and get this win.
Raptors have won 4 in a row.
Let's go.
They're 6 and 4.
They're still too far behind 10. The Bulls.
Yeah, they're not technically out of it. They're 5 games back though, with 6 to play. So tomorrow
they are not technically out of
tomorrow will be it for them if the Bulls are able to win. But they're playing well, and they're actually playing their guys. Like last game, Barnes 28 minutes, Barrett 29 minutes. That's like fine. Within the range of normal.
Yes.
So we'll see how they close, of course, but. They're putting together some good games. Their schedule has been the easiest in the league since All-Star break. So I don't know what that really means for them, but I'm sure they would prefer to be losing. They're trying pretty hard to do so. And I do expect the Bulls to come out pretty strong. None of them played that much tonight. Yeah. So the tired legs issue won't really be there. But yeah, I mean, Sixers, Hornets, Nets, Wizards were the last 4 games for the Raptors. They won all 4. So
that sounds like a path to some victories.
Yeah. Good for them.
Good for them. Well, we shall see tomorrow night what happens. We will be back here at 6:30 Central Time live for pregame to preview that matchup for y'all out there in Bulls Nation. Until then, read Goat stuff. AllCHGO.com is where you can find it. Some great stuff recently. Billy's thoughts on Modest, what the Bulls have been doing with Giddey and Kobe. Become a diehard so you can read all of it. Most of Goat stuff we save for diehards only. Follow him, Will_Gottlieb. Big names about BAWL Sports. I am Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out to the hardworking, incredible queen of the controls, the one and only Katie Duffy. And one last shout out to the incredible staff at Hooters. Shout out to Stephanie and her whole team who took great care of us tonight. And shout out to all of you who came out to hang out with us tonight. Great to chat with y'all. Great to be with y'all out there. We love you, Bulls Nation. Appreciate all the love. Thanks for coming out. Can't wait to do it again sometime soon. See you, Rebby. Good.
Love y'all, man. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.